In this video, I'll show you how to alter a landscape in Affinity Photo. I'm using Affinity Photo 2.3. I'll transform this cityscape by adding a mountain range and field of flowers. If realism is your aim, then the new landscape elements to be introduced, whatever they may be, should match the perspective of the existing scene. For example, this shot of a field sloping downwards into a valley wouldn't work with the current photo. The first thing I'll do is rename the background layer City Skyline, just to keep things organized. I'll double-click where it says Background and type in the new name, and then press the Return key. Now to add the mountain range. Before I can do that, I need to select the sky. I'll do that with the Flood Select tool. I'll make sure Contiguous on the Context toolbar is checked. There's a lot of blue in all parts of this photo. If it's not checked, then anywhere I click will result in large areas being selected in all parts of the photo, not just in the sky. I'll also enable Add mode by clicking this button on the Context toolbar. Now, each time I click with the mouse, I'll be adding to or growing the selection. I'll click in various parts of the sky. I'm trying to select as much of the sky as I can. Okay, to make sure no buildings are selected, I'll zoom in to have a closer look. If any buildings are selected, they'll be replaced by the mountain range. Obviously, not something I want. Using the selection brush, I'll deselect any buildings that may be selected. I'll make sure it's on Subtract mode. This button on the Context toolbar should be depressed. Now, wherever I click, it will deselect that area, or take away from the selection. And Snap to Edges should be checked as well. I'll adjust the size of the brush with the bracket keys. I'm looking for buildings that are fully or partially selected. I'll deselect them by painting or clicking on them with the selection brush. If I need to select an area, I can switch to Add mode by clicking this button here. And if I accidentally deselect an area, I can undo it by pressing Command-Z or Control-Z in Windows, or I can switch to Add mode and reselect the area. Snap to Edges makes this a fairly easy job. This doesn't have to be perfect, though it can be for your image. I think I got everything. I'll zoom out by pressing Command-0, Control-0 in Windows. I'll switch to Add mode for a final sweep of the sky. A bigger brush will help. I'll paint over the sky to make sure everything in it is selected. If I miss anything, I can easily fix it later by painting on the mask with a white brush. Looks like everything's selected. There's no need to refine this selection. It's okay the way it is. I'll switch over to the mountain range photo to copy it in. I'll press Command-C, Control-C in Windows to copy the file, or I can choose Copy from the Edit menu. I'll switch back and paste the file by pressing Command-V, Control-V in Windows, or by selecting Paste from the Edit menu. I'm using the marching ants to tell me where the city skyline is. That looks fine where it is, so I'll just go ahead and apply a mask. I'll clear the selection by pressing Command-D or Control-D in Windows. I'll rename the layer Mountains. That seems to fit in perfectly in regards to color and lighting, but I'll try improving it anyway. First, a brightness and contrast adjustment. I'll make it a child of the mountain image layer to limit its effect to that layer only. I'll reduce brightness and kick up contrast. That's looking better. I'll try an HSL adjustment too. I'll make sure it's a child of the mountain layer. I'll start with cyan. Turning down luminosity helps. I'll try fiddling with the saturation. Increasing it works well. Now I'll try the blue channel. I'll try the same thing I did with cyan. Okay, yeah, that's fitting in even better. I'll zoom into the skyline to see if anything needs patching up. It's looking good. If you do need to fix something, select the mask layer, and wherever there should be mountains, just paint with a white brush to reveal them. And wherever there shouldn't be mountains, paint with a black brush to hide them. These photos were downloaded from the internet, so their resolution isn't that great. A pixel-perfect job wouldn't be worth the effort, in my opinion. I'll zoom back out. Now for the field of flowers. From the File menu, I'll choose Place to bring in the photo. I'll click anywhere to place the image. I'll zoom out for more room. Before I resize and position it, I'll reduce its opacity to about 50%. This way I can see how it fits in with the existing scene. I'll zoom in for a closer look. It's a bit low on the left side. I'll zoom way out and adjust the field image by tilting it. I'll grab the handle at the top of the blue rectangle and tilt the photo. I'll zoom back in to check and make any final adjustments if need be. Okay, fine and dandy. I'll zoom out. I'll turn the opacity back up. And I'll rename this layer Field. Now I'll apply an empty or black mask to make it invisible. From the Layer menu, I'll select New Empty Mask Layer. Now it's mostly a matter of painting the field in with a white brush. First I'll expand the field layer to make sure the mask is selected. I'll grab a paintbrush and set its color to white. Next I'll click on the Brushes tab and select the brush type. From the drop-down, I'll select Masking. And I'll select a soft brush. They're the ones with a fuzzy outline. The first one in the list will do. I'll click on the Layers tab and begin painting, starting at the bottom and working my way up to the buildings. Using the bracket keys, I'll increase the size of the brush. That was easy. I'll zoom into the shoreline to finish up. I'll use a smaller brush here. I'll switch the brush color to black and paint above the shoreline to remove any traces of the field left by the soft edge of the brush. That's done, so I'll zoom back out. That looks cool. The field should be a bit darker up by the skyline, I think. I can do that with a gradient. From the Layer menu, I'll select New Fill Layer. I'll drag the new fill layer over the field layer until the entire layer is highlighted and release it. It should be placed below the mask. I know it's all white, but I'll fix it in a second. The gradient tool is automatically selected when you add a fill layer, so I'll just drag it out, pulling it straight down. It's the opposite of what I want, dark close up and bright far away. I'll reverse it by clicking this button on the context toolbar. Alright, now I'll change the blend mode of the fill layer to multiply. There we go, the field is back. I'll pull the gradient up and I'll move the slider handle to adjust it. The mask is restricting its effect to the field only. It's too dark up by the shoreline, so I'll lower the opacity of the fill layer. I think it would look better if the flowers close up in the foreground were brighter. To do that, I'll add a brightness and contrast adjustment. Bringing up both brightness and contrast helps. But now it's too bright again by the shoreline. I'll increase the gradient layer's opacity to fix that. First, I'll select the gradient fill layer. Okay, as a final touch, I'll add a brightness and contrast adjustment to the city skyline. I'll make it a child of the skyline layer. Bringing down the brightness just a tad works. All right, I think that is done. I'll do a before and after. A remarkable transformation, and fairly easy to pull off. I hope this gave you the tools you need to start doing similar things with your own images. Thank you for watching.